and thank you for joining us for Legendlore, the Metal Scourge, Episode 2. I'm Corinne, and I'll be your DM. We're going to be using the Legendlore setting a little differently than some of the other streams on the channel. While the system is made for you to play yourself in a fantasy setting, it can also be used as a side quest for current game characters, or a quick one-shot for when friends get together with characters from other games. This is because the realm pulls people from different planes, universes, and settings to all be in one place. So, you could have Scarred Land's character and Pugmire characters meeting up in a strange new land, like you'll see today. If you like what you see, I hope you'll check out the Kickstarter link in chat. I think there's also an auto link that you'll see pop up. With 15 days to go, they have raised just under 16K. This means they've beaten their 15K goal and are currently working towards the first stretch goal, which is the production of a Legendlore DM screen to help you run this fantastic setting just that little bit better. So pitch in to help make this release even cooler. Finally, Twitch just announced that starting today, viewers will be able to unlock Pride-themed emotes, and Twitch will donate 10 cents to both the Trevor Project and the National Black Justice Coalition through 7/15 for every paid sub, gift sub, or cheer of 300 bits or more, up to a total contribution of 300K to each organization. So anything that you do during streams, such as subscribing, doing a gift sub, or cheering 300 bits or more, will also be part of that donation. Contributing allows you to permanently earn Pride emotes and gift them to the community. So that's cool. Without further ado, I will pass the floor to my players, say a little bit about yourselves and your character, and then we'll get this show going. I think we'll start from the bottom this time, since Rune wasn't with us last weekend. Rune.
Oh, why I gotta be first? Hello, I'm Rune. I do art things. I'm a freelancer with Cubicle 7 working on Age of Sigmar Soulbound, and I am playing Marigold, who you may have seen on Saturdays, the world's most extra Drendali Bard, College of Remembrance. So there you go, that's me.
Very nice. Thank you for joining us. We missed you last week. Alrighty, Jeremy.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. All right, Jeremy, he, him. I write things and publish things. You can find me on Twitter at WHPubs, and I am playing Winnie, she, her, the Staffordshire Terrier cleric from Pugmire.
Very nice. Then we have Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a freelance editor and writer for RPGs. I do things with words and games. I am playing Shell. She is a realm-born. She is an orc. She has grown up hearing legends of people who cross over and go on great adventures. And now she's part of one, and she's super excited for that.
Which is very cool. All right, Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi Koto, they, them. I am also a freelance RPG writer. I work on a bunch of projects for Onyx Path, although not Legendlore. So I have no idea what's happening, and that's kind of fun.
Which is always exciting.
And I, as you might be able to tell, am playing a snake girl, and a softie, to be specific, named Zasa. She's a wizard, and she has some fun focus issues.
And
we sympathize.
Yes, especially today. It might be a struggly day today. All right. Last but not least, Bevan.
Hi, I'm Bevan. I am over on Roll the Roll with Corinne, and I'm also married to Corinne, but that's not what defines us. I play in our games there, and when we are doing it, I run our Scarred Lands game on our channel, which is probably coming back in July. Let's hope, if nothing else stupid happens, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And I play Rex Fluffmane, another dog folk. I am a cleric, and I am a Saint Bernard. Not cleric, a paladin. Winnie's the cleric, I'm the paladin. We both would be shepherds in Pugmire. So.
And you are a very good boy.
I'm a very good boy.
All right. Well, we're going to jump right into it. But before we get to the rest of you, Marigold, you weren't with us last session. The last thing Zasa remembers is that she was watching you as you performed at a tavern. She felt the music pulling her somewhere, and then she was in the hills. Although you crossed the same time as us, you ended up somewhere quite different. In fact, you ended up in a very different tavern. You felt yourself being pulled, being weightless, and when you opened your eyes, the room was different. The once full crowd had dwindled to only a few patrons, and the decor looked unfamiliar. What would you have done?
Well, depends. Sort of an upscale joint or a terribly low-brow joint?
It would have nice furnishings that look kind of rustic but very well made. There wouldn't be too many patrons, but it would be clean and well kept.
Interesting. Well, the only thing to do when one finds oneself in a unfamiliar tavern is to find the person in charge and immediately book a show.
All right, so you go looking around. Probably for, would you go to the bartender or would you be looking for somebody else?
The bartender's a good shout at first, I think.
All right. So as you reach the bar, you see that, it is being tended. The individual behind the bar looks kind of like an orc, but not quite the type of orc that you're familiar with. Their features are kind of more resemble a pig than what you'd be familiar with, kind of more like a boar. And they have very short, bristly hair. And kind of light brown skin with little like pink speckles.
Fascinating. Well, they wouldn't happen to know where I am, would they?
As you approach, they look up and they speak to you, but it's not in any language you recognize.
Oh, good. Well, thankfully. Ooh, this is the wrong character. I don't have comprehend languages, do I?
Zaza does.
Oh, goodness. All right, well. So we don't speak the same language. That's fascinating. All right. I will simply pull forth one of my numerous instruments, play a chord on it, and wait to see what the reaction is.
The bartender kind of gives you a look, gathering that you don't understand what they've said, and then they kind of stroke their chin a little, and they're like, they nod and point you over to what looks like a very small stage. It's not maybe what you're used to. It looks like they probably don't have the opportunity for performers very often. But you get pointed over there, and they write something down on a piece of paper for you, but even when you try and read it, you don't understand. So it might not be much use, but you could maybe get somebody else to translate it for you.
Oh. I have a stage, I have an audience. Languages is important. So yes, I guess I will sit and entertain the masses and try to get some sort of coin and a fund going, because you can't travel if you're absolutely dirt poor broke. Well, here I am.
As you play, it seems pretty popular for the few patrons there are. You do get some tips. Not a whole lot by any means, because it's not a very full bar. But you do probably get a couple of gold coins, maybe something around the realm of like 3 or 4, which is more than you started with here.
Absolutely.
Around the realm.
Let's see, what time is it roughly? I'll have a peek out the window.
As you look out, you think when you arrived, maybe the sun was setting, but now there's 2 moons in the sky, but the sky doesn't seem familiar to you. The stars aren't really ones you recognize.
This is some grade A magic bullshit. Delightful. Well, the only thing to do now is to get some rest, because of course I've been up all day and I'm exhausted, and I just played a show of some sort, so I'm already tired, and sleep cures many things, including confusion, bad drug trips, and terrible dreams. So let's try for sleep first. I'll try to communicate somehow that I would like a room and a place to sleep that isn't going to get me murdered.
As you approach the bartender again, they smile, big wide smile with like lots of like kind of pointy teeth and then like the little tusks. And they kind of mime the piece of paper that they wrote on for you. Like basically asking you to pull it back out again.
pull it out of my sleeve.
And as you pull it out, he, pushes it back at you, but then points over to a door. And that door looks like it might go to like a connected inn of some sort. And there is somebody standing outside the door.
Ah, well, delightful. I'll head that way. Pick up my things and wander in that direction.
As you go, there is somebody standing guard by the door. They're not very armed or anything. They seem like they're more there to make sure that people who are passing through the door have paid to stay at the inn. Do you produce the slip of paper?
Of course, of course.
As you produce it, the guard smiles and takes it from you, and then allows you to pass.
Delightful. I get a key or anything, or you just kind of waves me through?
As you're passing, you get like a key is held out to you that has a little number on it.
Oh, well, numbers are mostly, hopefully,
Yes.
I can match symbols. This is
Yes. You should be able to figure it out with the number. The number does seem familiar. It's not, a completely different system of maths.
Oh, good, delightful. I will bow ever so slightly, find that room, and immediately take stock of what I can do, and then sleep, probably.
All right. You make it inside the room. It's well furnished, very clean. It has some strange items in it. As you look at the bookshelf, you don't really recognize the language that any of these books are in, but they seem to be in many different languages. As you compare, it doesn't seem like it's all the same. And there is a little, looks like a guest book that's on the desk that's been written in by various different hands. And that's about it. You have the bed with various furs and things to make it pretty comfy.
I will sign my name with an elegant flourish in the guest book. Put a little smiley face next to it and a little marigold flower. Because, language isn't terribly universal, apparently. And I will absolutely sleep because there's nothing else for me to do at this exact second.
All right. So now that you are sleeping and you begin to wake up just like everybody else. Let me just read basically what I read last time. As you awaken the next morning, the reality of the previous night crashes upon you. You have been sucked into a new plane, united with a bunch of strangers in the case of the others, and now you're being sent on a quest in the case of the others. You, Marigold, you just still don't know where you are, don't quite have a purpose yet in this new strange place, but you do have a bit of gold. Let me just get us to the little ambiance sound map here.
Long rest, long rest.
Yes,
everybody level spells again.
Everybody did have a long rest. So you are awake and fully functioning, and you can now leave your rooms if you like, or do whatever it is that you would have done in the morning.
Well, we got to go out.
Are you gonna go to the yard again?
Rex and Winnie have to go out.
Absolutely.
Time.
Because if we go in the inn, we're going to get in so much trouble.
We're going to get in so much trouble. And we're good dogs, so we go out.
All right. It is now daylight. So you going out is noticed a bit more than it was last time when it was, dark outside. Where do you choose to go out?
I mean, probably not out in the front yard because that's where people walk by.
Mm-hmm.
So probably out back somewhere.
Okay, so you try and find kind of like a back alley or like a
we
grassy
still,
patch.
We still want privacy. We're not animals.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure. You double check to make sure you're in a secluded area is what I'm asking.
Well, yeah, we walk around in a circle like 3 times. And...
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're both able to find a nice secluded area where you can go out. And no one's the wiser that this is what you keep doing. Although you do seem to very relieved each time it happens, and then you come back inside.
Good.
Winnie's eyeing Rex because he wasn't so choosy about where he was going last night, but now he wants seclusion.
Last night I was drinking and I ate way too much food and I'm a changed, woke up man for a little bit.
All right, so
Also
after you
has
two go
comprehend
out, okay.
languages prepared so that she doesn't have to do blood sacrifice in front of children again.
Thought that was the highlight of your night.
What?
And all the kids were like, "Yeah, right on, dark magic."
You're just
Yeah,
imparting skills on the next
Like,
generation.
don't you have an apprentice now?
yeah, you have an apprentice.
Yes, he
the
does.
little orc girl.
I had to cast it as a ritual, or rather, Zasa had to cast it as a ritual, and you know,
Shit
jazzed
happens
it
when
up
you
a
have to
little.
cast
I
this
leave
ritual.
you alone for one session. One. And this is what happens.
Well, you know, if you leave Kervin alone for one session, then she gets
gosh.
drunk and punches everyone who has a face. So
Oh,
really, the lesson to be learned here is never leave.
The fact that your
oddly
moral
sweet, but
compass
alright.
is your bard is pretty
Yeah.
awful.
Great decision. Nothing can go wrong.
Sure, it's fine. All right, so we know that our good boy and our good girl went outside. Do you come back in? Do you go try and get breakfast, or do you go try and
Oh, it's
find
breakfast.
Zasa first?
Definitely breakfast.
Breakfast. I mean, come on.
Okay, so as you go downstairs, you're quite easily able to find that the tavern connects to the inn, as you did walk through it yesterday when you're being shown by the tavern owner. And as you open the door, you see that a different bartender seems to be manning the bar. Perhaps the tavern owner is off elsewhere, doing ownery type things. But the bartender seems to be expecting you, as there is a big just like a big array of food on the table, all sorts of breakfast meats and breads and cheeses, all laid out for you. And they seem to wave and say something, but once again, you don't understand them anymore.
Oh, so the effect of that
The effect
cheese
has
rat.
worn off.
Interesting.
The strange cheese you ate, it no longer works.
I'll look around. Is there any more of that strange cheese?
You don't see any strange cheese. You do just see regular cheese, and you do see that there is next to the array of food are a couple of vials. That if you want to roll an intelligence check, you might just be able to remember seeing these vials yesterday.
Oh, man. I mean, it's a 10. It's not like I have a 0. Oh, 15. So we did okay.
Okay, yeah, so both of you have this memory that before you ate the strange cheese, you did see some vials with a similar colored liquid. You were pretty distracted by all the food and all the pets you were getting, so you didn't really make the connection that they had put this vial in your food, but it probably makes sense. That's why you were suddenly able to understand each other after you ate the cheese.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to grab one and, like, sniff it and make a face, but still drink it.
How do you
But
feel?
yeah, I feel like I just took medicine on purpose.
Oh, why would you do that? There's not even any treats at. Oh, wait.
I was going to say, there's treats right here.
Right? And hand
Like,
it
I
to
start
you.
eating bacon and I start going nuts. I'm like, oh, thanks. Here, you have
Wait,
a
is there
treat too.
bacon?
Oh, there's bacon.
I stop and I look at the bartender and I look at the bacon and I look at the bartender and I look at the bacon and I just for once don't want bacon for some reason.
It's not actually bacon, but Pugmire characters have disadvantage to know that.
And I look at them and I'm like, look, just take the gross medicine and you can have as much bacon and whatnot. They also put out chocolate and coffee. I don't think they know that will kill us. I'm not going to have any coffee or chocolate. Or onions. Gosh, these guys really don't know how to deal with dogs. I'll just have a beer, please.
Don't make me spit water on the keyboard. All right. So, Winnie, do you also drink the potion?
Yes.
Okay, so once you both drink the potion, you're able to understand the bartender now. He speaks to you and he's like, "Good morning. I'm so glad that we didn't have to put it in the cheese this time."
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy. I'm sure your friend will be down soon. And we have sent a message to Shell to let her know that you're all awake. So as you continue eating, we'll go to Zasa. What are you doing?
After getting a little bit more studying and poring over the star chart that she made last night, she'll suddenly realize that she has a physical body that needs to be fed.
Mood.
And every creative here is like, yeah, shut up.
Oh, and you just forget to eat, and then suddenly you have the shakes.
What is this physical form? Why is it malfunctioning? Yeah, been there.
You're suddenly hangry and don't know what you're doing. All right, so you leave your room, you head down. Just like last night, as you exit that door, you enter the tavern. You see before you that the good boy and the good girl have already arrived, and they are eating. And the table is full of food. Did you use comprehend languages already, or were you waiting?
I was waiting.
Okay, so as you come down, the bartender speaks to you. He doesn't seem familiar from last night. He must be a different shift. And he seems to say good morning or something like that. That's the gist you get, but you don't understand again.
Oh, you don't get that. Ohio gozaimasu. No. Pip pip cheerio. Do you have one of those potions?
As you make the drinking motion, the bartender smiles and points over at the table, and you see on the table with the array of food, there are additional vials. It looks like there's 2 empty ones, as if one has been drinking by the other 2 members of your party. But there is currently 1 full one still waiting.
Oh, thank you.
They kind of give like a bow.
Yeah. She goes over there and gives it a taste, a sniff, and then just drinks it.
Once you drink it, you can suddenly understand. You kind of hear chatter going on back in the kitchen. You hear the dogs and you understand them. It seems that this potion does just help you comprehend languages, which is great because nobody seems to speak any of the languages you do here.
Saves on spell slots.
It does save on the spell slots. All right, Shell. What did you do in the morning? Were you still asleep, do you think, or did you wake up pretty early?
She's pretty excited for everything to start happening. So she probably gets up early, has a quick breakfast with her family, and then heads on over to the inn.
All right.
She probably like takes extra care to brush her bristles and scrub her fangs and make sure she looks nice and double check all of her equipment and weapons that it's ready to go.
And right as you open the door, there is a messenger outside, about to knock on the door. Oh yes,
He screamed.
I think I was here to tell you, Shell. The visitors, they're awake.
Oh, excellent! I was just going to meet them.
Well, I'll accompany you over. And
I'll tip him a copper piece or whatever is customary.
Thank you very much. It's quite early, so I wasn't expecting any messenger jobs or you to be awake. It was much easier than expected. I thought I might have to throw rocks at your window or something.
Oh, please don't do that. That would break the glass. And you'd wake the baby.
Well, I'm just trying to be, I have to get the message in somehow. But I promise next time I won't throw rocks at your baby.
Oh, not my baby, my sister's baby. But she will kill you if you wake him up.
Oh, noted. I forgot your sister had a baby. All right. Yes. No. We don't wake the new mother and the new baby. Got it.
Yes. Appreciate it. I'm really excited that we've got visitors. We've got otherworldly visitors. I never thought we'd have them in our village, or that I would get to talk to them.
No, they're the most exciting travelers we've had here in such a long time. You know, we've mostly just had people from the other cities, but visitors of our own. I can't believe it.
So, what are they up to?
I believe they're having breakfast. If you haven't eaten, there is a big display. I think they wanted to make sure that they ate while they drank the comprehend languages potion. It can upset your stomach a little bit if it's taken, without food.
That's fair.
Yeah. And as you kind of finish up this conversation, you get to the tavern, and even just walking by the window, you see the huge display of food. It looks like Phalar has gone a little bit overboard. Maybe they were excited and told the kitchen staff to create a spread. But you see that the visitors that you met are currently at the table, and you're allowed to, just kind of go in.
Yeah. Shell probably had some like bread and cheese or bread and bacon for her breakfast, but this is really nice. And she's like, "Oh, I don't get to eat this kind of cheese often." So she'll nibble even though she's technically already eaten.
She's just gotta get in on this good continental breakfast.
Mhm.
All right, so Marigold.
She probably like eases a little bit of food into like her pouch.
into like a
So,
satchel.
Yeah.
For lunch.
Mine.
Yeah, it's free food. Don't turn down free food.
No, you of course.
So, Marigold, as you kind of awaken from your slumber, you're known for sleeping late. You're not much of a morning bard.
Oh no.
As you wake up and you smell delicious food.
Yes, that is exactly what I need. I will roll out of bed, do my morning skincare routine with the supplies that I have, look woefully into my bag and realize, oh dear, I didn't bring quite enough of that lotion with me. My rose oil's running low. Appearances are so exhausting. Anyway, show must go on, and I will gather my things and wander in the direction of the delicious smelling whatever that is.
As you follow the smell, you are taken back down to the tavern, the little staircase that you followed up that took you to the inn. You get to the bottom door and you open it up. And as you open the door, you spot many things simultaneously. One, you spot a gigantic display of food. This is clearly what you're smelling. It all looks delicious.
Okay.
Two, you spot Zasa. She is green and very hard to miss, but she's there. You found her. Three, there are two, dog people here, and they're quite unlike anybody you've ever seen before. They'd be kind of similar to a Manticora, but just, the opposite. And they're just hanging out with Zasa, stuffing their faces, most likely. Zasa, I say that you kind of look up, when you hear the door open, and you do kind of a quick scan, and your eyes lock with Marigold.
Marigold!
Zasa!
You're not dead! You're
not dead!
Materialize into a brick wall or something.
No.
Fantastic!
No, I completely missed the brick wall on the way in. What are you doing here? Where are we? I'm immediately going to beeline across the table, actually step over one. I'm tall enough that it doesn't matter. I will just step across somebody's table. Thankfully, not knocking over anybody's drink, I hope. And immediately hugs Asa because, ooh, familiar face.
I don't know where we're at. We're definitely not on Skarn. None of the constellations match. We seem to be in a completely different world, and our dog friends. They don't seem to be from this world either. It seems like this place is some sort of dimensional nexus. So, yesterday when I said that it's unlikely that something could just reach between dimensions and yank them, I'm gonna lower that to wildly improbable as opposed to I've never heard of it and it's probably impossible.
Wow, isn't it a fascinating experience when we learn that our assumptions about the world are completely wrong?
It is! I'm learning so much.
I hate it. I'm sorry, you said the there with you.
Yeah, and I like to think you look over at us, and you know how in Dragon Ball, when like Goku and Vegeta are eating it next to normal people, and how horrifying that has to be
It
because they are
is.
literally shoveling food into their face. It's probably what we're doing.
So I feel like you continue doing that, but Winnie's just staring at this elf, and like food drops out of her mouth, and she leans over to Rex and she says, "Is that a human?"
And I stop eating, and a piece of food falls out of my mouth too. Like, I don't know. Is that a human? I don't know.
They said humans came here.
Like I take out like in my book, and like I'm looking through it, and it's like the pictures are so poorly drawn of a human that I'm like,
Just like a stick
maybe.
figure.
It doesn't have tusks, so maybe. Could we? I don't know. Let's roll a perception check to smell.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check to smell.
Oh, good. I get to describe what fucking marigold smells like.
Yeah.
Life.
All right.
Roll a smell check for me.
And we get advantage on these.
Yo! Okay.
Winnie's smelling
one sec.
space and time.
So I got a 4 and an 18, so I got an 18.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So,
Marigold.
as you lean in to sniff this bod, I don't know, I have my accent there. Bad.
It's
bad.
me, fucking Marigold.
It's me, fucking Marigold.
I'm here to play the music.
Anyway, as you inhale the scent of this bod, you get primarily rose oil, and then there's an undercurrent of rosin from a violin bow. There is a very intentional scent of what might be incense, which most people on Scan wouldn't even know why Marigold might be carrying incense. Clothes are freshly laundered, freshly bathed, smells as nice as anybody in a fantasy setting possibly can. The lotion on the skin is actually made from some sort of, it's rose oil based, but it has hints of other things in it, maybe something like a citrus scent.
Is
and
it
of
like
course,
lanolin or lotion, or is it like
no,
a
much
plant-based?
Plant-based. And then they have a fresh marigold flower tucked behind their ear that never seems to fade or will.
So as all of these scents just assail Winnie's
Yeah, I was gonna
senses,
say, like, I'm gonna
he
be
stops,
like, no.
and she goes, and just food goes everywhere.
Okay.
And
I like
she
kind of
just
scratch my nose, like, whatever it is, it's too strong.
she just
Too
puts
much.
her head down, and her tail tucks between her legs, and she looks absolutely terrified.
Like, I hope this isn't what humans smell like, because we've been barking up the wrong tree.
So Zasa and Marigold, you avoid the food. It kind of sprays out, but you're able to do like the no thank you, and it misses you. You don't get hit with any half-chewed dog food and saliva in the face.
What about Shell? Does Shell then get hit? You
Uh,
didn't mention Shell.
Shell, are you sitting beside the dogs or across from them?
Probably
standing. You could be
across
standing.
from them.
Okay, so if you're across, I'll need that dex save.
Okay.
Just see if you get hit with some food.
Oh no. I believe.
Okay, you're fine. Basically, everybody on the other side of the table kind of sense something is happening, and you're able to pull back. You're like, you see the
Yeah.
look on their faces, the way their noses scrunch up, and you can tell. It's like when you can tell your dog's gonna sneeze. Like, you know.
Can I understand our canine companions?
You can't. So as they're talking, it
Delightful.
sounds kind of familiar, but it'd be like if you were like if you were speaking American English and then you were talking to someone who had like was speaking very strong like Scottish English. Like, some words are the same, you're getting a couple, but on the whole, you're really not understanding what they're saying. It just kind of sounds like a little bit like nonsense to you, even though there's key words that are like, I know that word. The rest is unintelligible.
Oh, all right. So, right. Can we just eat this? Is that fine then?
It appears to be part of our fare, and
Oh.
all of the food smells absolutely fantastic. Are the two of you okay with those allergies, or with?
We're just gonna have to be careful what we breathe in, and maybe smell more food than beautiful man.
Shell will say, "Oh, Zasa, is this the friend you were looking for?"
Yes, this is
Oh,
Marigold. He is a fantastic bard and very fancy dresser. It smells very nice. Owns and rotates at least 12 different scents on a bi-weekly basis.
How did you
Catalog
know
them
that?
by major notes.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds
Would you like
impressive.
to see my chart?
Yes, I would love to see your chart. I don't know if it's correct. Can I
maybe
understand?
after-
I would love to know if my data is correct. We can verify that.
As you're talking about
Shell-
these scents.
Can't understand Marigold, so she will say maybe after breakfast.
As you're kind of discussing these scents, and Shell, as you're not understanding the very pink elf, the bartender sees that a new person has joined, and
Well, in
okay.
fact, I would like to go up to the bartender
oh, go ahead.
and say, like, "Oh, it looks like we have a new visitor. Do we have any of those potions left over? I think he needs one."
Yes, we do. Yes, let me go check in the back. I believe he was here last night playing. I gave him a room, but, you know, I didn't realize he was with this group. All right, be right back. And he goes digging around, and it looks like yesterday when they had procured the potions as you were all at the meeting hall, there were a couple more left. So he basically brings out the rest of the box, and you see that there is one left, and then there are two more that are kind of like half full. It looks like they made like a certain amount and started to run out. And so he brings it out, and he's like, well, we're kind of running out. I can try and whip up some more. It's not really my forte, and the potion maker doesn't come back in until about another hour. But this should be enough for him, and then these two, if anybody's running out, I'm not certain if we've gotten everybody. So here you go.
Thanks. I'll let them know. Do we owe you anything for the potions?
Oh, no, everything is on the house per Phalar, but they should be in about 10 minutes. Once they get here, I think they might have more of the potion. I'm not certain, but they will have basically the rest of the information for you, and then y'all can get out there and go a-questing.
All right, I'll let them know.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so I'll take the potions, and I'll bring it back. I'll sort of look between Zasa and Marigold and be like, this is a little awkward.
Bevan's putting my dog on camera, sorry.
Oh, hello, Popper!
She keeps
It's a
ducking.
snoot.
Lola, stand still.
Oh, I want to scratch your ears.
She refuses to come to the top of the bed when I'm here because I'm always yelling at her to go to the bottom when we're sleeping. So, like, when
Aw.
Corinne's streaming on the bed, she comes up to Corinne. When I'm streaming on the bed, she's just out of arm's reach.
Aw, she's a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart.
She's the
also
barky girl that everyone's probably
She's
heard before.
also a big idiot. Who's
Oh,
a pretty
she
Lola.
Hey.
Oh, she heard the kissing and started wagging her tail. Who's a good puppy? Yeah. Oh, she heard Corinne laugh and had to go look. All right, I'll put it back
Oh.
at my ugly face instead.
I
Sorry.
love her bib. But,
Alrighty, anyway, continue. He distracted
Yeah.
all of us.
Sorry.
You're like, dog!
so Shell doesn't want to be rude, but, you know, this is awkward, so she eventually decides to just hand it to Zasa and say, can you please tell your friend that if he drinks this, he can understand us?
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that, but then there was data and sorry, I'm doing it again. Rune, this potion will
Sorry,
help
who's
you
Rune?
understand them. Marigold.
Marigold, it's the nickname I've been using for you for years.
Obviously, I've just acquired a new name when I wasn't looking. Who's this interesting rune person? I'm absolutely a fucking bastard. Anyway, you want me to drink this, right?
Well, I mean, that's entirely up to you. I don't want to push anything on you. It's just that it will facilitate communication with the people of this realm, as our dogfolk friends.
Considering literally the only thing I'm good at is talking, I imagine I would need to understand people. So, bottoms up. What does it taste like, Corinne?
It doesn't taste particularly pleasant. It kind of tastes medicinal, and it leaves kind of a weird feeling in the back of your throat. But as it goes down, you start to understand the people around you. If the dogs are talking, they no longer have a thick Scottish brogue to you. If the bartender's talking, you can suddenly understand him. You hear the people in the kitchen as much as you ever could. And the words all make sense now. And Shell, who is sitting next to you, you now understand her.
Hi, I'm Shell. Zasa told us all about you. I'm glad you finally arrived.
Hello. I'm Marigold. I'm a bard. I sing things, so sometimes I talk a lot. But
I'm so sorry I missed your performance last night.
Oh, is it like 2 o'clock in the morning? I imagine all civilized people are actually asleep.
Yes.
Okay then. So, what are we doing here, and how do we get home?
So these are my new friends. This is Winnie, and this is Rex Fluffmane.
And our tails are probably wagging because we've been addressed.
Yeah. They're dogs. And so, well, all right. So you probably haven't had this explained to you, but I'm from here, and we have a lot of stories about people who come from other places, like other realms, and they come here and they do really cool stuff. They save people, they do things that no one else can do, and they just make this a better place.
Okay.
And so, we sort of imagine that whenever people come over, it's always for a reason. So I would guess that the reason is there's this huge four-eyed monster that's stalking the valley, like just, over there, not too far. We've tried to handle the problem ourselves, but it's really difficult. It goes really fast, like faster than deer or even squirrels. It's super fast.
I do feel it important to point out that 2 of its eyes are in the front and 2 of its red evil eyes are behind it. That was
you really can't sneak up on this thing.
You can't.
It'll find you.
Yeah, so we call it the lift beast because that's what's on its side. It says lift on the side.
But it was interesting that the sides didn't seem to have eyes. So maybe that's how we sneak up on it.
Yeah. Well, I've
it
tried
has that
doing
thick
that.
armor there, doesn't it?
It does. Like, I've tried to shoot it, and she indicates the bow and arrow on her back. I'm a good shot. I'm not the best, but I usually hit what I'm aiming at. I keep aiming for this thing's eyes, and it's so difficult.
Oh, right. Have you tried taking out its legs then?
It doesn't have those.
I'm sorry. The lift beast doesn't have legs.
No, it just moves really fast.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's got like
snitch?
1,000 little teeny legs. Like, I've heard sometimes there are magical suitcases that do this.
Okay, that's
Lots of
terrifying.
little teeny legs.
Wow, the luggage reference! Okay! I have met you guys 5 minutes ago and I already love you.
So
Yeah,
as
so
you're,
anyway, I think it's so fast because it's moving on all the little teeny legs.
as you're discussing this, Shell, like as you're like trying to describe the things that you know, which is about as much as anybody in Welcome Village, because you've been kind of guarding the outside wall, keeping animals out, things like that, making sure no bear attacks happen, etc., so on and so forth. General protect from the wilderness sort of things, and. As you're discussing this, Phalar, the tavern owner, comes back, and you last saw them last night, and they're like, "Oh, hello! You're all here. Fantastic! I was hoping you would be here when I arrived." And
Hello.
oh, you're quite new. I would have remembered that hair. I'm Phalar. Good to meet you. And
Marigold, pleasure.
they hold out a hand, and if you take it, they shake it very vigorously.
Oh, easy on the hands, darling. These are gold.
Oh, my mistake. I'm just so excited to meet another visitor. Oh, so many in one day, practically. Goodness. Okay, well, we have things to discuss. I'm sure maybe the others have filled you in, but you've been sent on a quest by the leader of the village herself.
This is all well and good, and really we are about helping people and making sure that everyone stays safe. But darling, I'm terribly sorry. I don't exactly know where I am or why I'm here or how to get home, and those are sort of my top priorities. It's nothing personal, understand?
Oh, of course, yes. Well, you
But-
are in the realm.
Here.
You
Oh, very
are
descriptive.
a visitor. And basically what that means is that people come here all the time from all different places. It seems like we have some people from some sort of dog realm I'm not familiar with. And we have you and your friend who are from someplace, I'm not certain. But we also get people from Earth quite regularly.
I'm sorry, what?
Earth. A lot of things that are here are from Earth. It's a fairly well-known place in the realm, but how can I describe it? Well, there's not much magic there. There is some, but it's not quite so common. And
Isn't that where the dogs are from? Like a far future Earth?
Oh yes, I think that was one of the theories. They might be from future Earth. That would make sense. So I mean, perhaps there's more magic on Earth in the future. Time is kind of wibbly wobbly here. You can come from one time, but then someone else comes from another time. Regardless, when you cross, that means you're here. And once you're here, the only way to get back is to find another crossing. But sometimes a crossing finds you. And the leader of our village thinks that perhaps you were brought here for a reason. And when you're brought here for a reason, completing that reason is the way to get home. We can't promise that's the case. Perhaps you're stuck here until you find an actual crossing. But oftentimes, if you're dragged to the realm without trying to get here, you've been brought here for some purpose.
Zasa, darling, how much have you verified of this?
Much as I can. I don't have direct knowledge of Earth or the realm or this potential future Earth, but the logic's internally consistent, and none of my data immediately disproves it. So being here in the realm is within the realm of possibilities. I said realm twice. That was weird.
Being in the realm is within the realm.
Does Zasa has Zasa ever been shown to speak like any of the Elven dialects or Sylvan?
Not Sylvan, but yes, Elvish.
Like regular Elvish and not Ane?
I didn't specify in my character sheet.
Okay, Marigold will actually turn to Zasa and swap into fluent melodic Elvish. So what I'm thinking here is this is all insane and I'd like to leave.
Yeah, it is pretty insane. Remember, we all took a potion to comprehend languages.
I did.
That is pretty weird. Our working theory is that this is some sort of like pugmatory where people who are neither good nor bad dogs go, then we have to prove ourselves again to go to the good place.
Goodness me, that sounds rather rough.
Ugh. You did it. You did a dog joke too.
And Phalar, like, kind of gets like I get what you're saying. This is all hugely bizarre for you. And they're like, I know this is hard to believe. You've been just ended up in a place you've never seen before. I can't explain to you how common it is here. It happens. We hear stories of it all the time. This area hasn't had many visitors, so it's quite exciting for all of us. Usually we just get normal travelers from the realm, not ones from outside of it. But if you're interested, there is a beast in the countryside, and perhaps that's why you're all here, to help us deal with it. It is the way of things. If you are under no obligation to help us, you don't have to, but it may be your best bet on getting home.
I was going to
Also,
say that I really hate magic, but I can't say that in front of Zase.
Also, if in the future you wanted to have a private conversation, given that most of the people here are under the influence of comprehend languages, you'll probably have to use magic, either mine or yours, in order to have a private conversation, which we can absolutely do.
I said what I said, I still mean it. This sounds insane and I want to go home, so point me at this stupid beast so we can kill it.
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
go prove
Right,
ourselves.
I think that means that we're unanimous. I mean, in the doing the thing, not necessarily that this is insane. I haven't pulled that data yet.
So is this some sort of like universal dog obsession with punishment and rewards, or is it just me?
They have some reverence, I guess, for humans.
Humans?
Why?
As humans
I'll
are
let
the
them
best.
explain.
Oh, are they?
Oh yes.
Okay.
It's
The
not-
ancient-
maybe.
The ancient world of the old ones, where there was a wonderland, and then the men they disappeared, but they did leave us the code.
The code?
Yes, I can tell you the code, or Winnie, if you would like to say the code.
Winnie has to pull her book out. Hang on.
Oh, I have my book pulled up in front of me.
Excellent. Winnie's she has her eyes closed in reverence and is waiting to say the words with you. Because she knows them by heart.
You be a good dog. Then you obey the master. You bite only those who endanger you.
Oof.
You defend your home. You stay loyal to those that are true. Protect all from the unseen, and fetch what has been left behind.
Marigold immediately snatches up a turkey drumstick from the table and throws it as hard as they possibly can for the door, just to see what happens.
Can we do like wisdom checks
Right.
as like a will check?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I would.
wisdom savings throw.
Yeah, I'd like a wisdom save from both of you to see if you have to fetch this.
All right, I got a
When he's
20.
just when he's not.
Shell will say, "That's really
Can't.
beautiful."
And Winnie, you're overcome by the urge to
Right.
fetch that drumstick.
You know,
Over
that
the
was a
table.
dirty trick.
No, I just wanted to see what happened, really.
So when he
Experimentation.
like
is
jumps
the
over
Winnie,
the
do you
table
have
and
that damn
pulls the gift
drumstick
and
yet? I
brings
swear.
it back to you.
Oh, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, Winnie, you better get that drumstick, or it will help me, dog.
I'll just set it back in front of Winnie. Good.
Careful with that, Winnie. It's a bird. Don't eat that bone. You'll get sick.
He's just watching it.
Wow. I've lost my mind. It's finally happened. I always knew one day that I would absolutely lose all grasp on reality, and it's happened. How delightful. And there's adorable dogs and my best friend and some adorable whatever you are.
There's
Right,
all
let's
the
go.
food you can eat.
I don't
And
really
I've
like
slowed
it.
down, but I'm still like trying.
Winnie
I
pops up.
document.
Rex,
This is
Rex,
fantastic.
we're dead anyway. We can have chocolate now.
No,
I
That's a
really don't
test.
think you're dead.
You're
I
absolutely not dead. I can
honestly
tell.
don't believe you're dead.
Hold
I
on.
do think we're dead, but that's still a test.
Actually, I have a
Oh.
test for you, and if you are dead, I can't do it. So, I will turn individually to Winnie first and speak into her mind using what's the name of this ability? It's called Whisper of the Heart. All right, can you hear me? That is a yes, and I will turn to Rex and do the same thing.
I
Speak
start
quietly.
barking.
Right?
Hello, Rex.
I look
it's
around and I
Marigold.
start barking. 'cause I don't-
Okay, wonderful. So, the sort of bard I am deals with dead things and dead people and life and death and that whole big cycle of all that fate crap. So, I can't talk to dead things, so you're both definitely alive. Don't eat chocolate. Let's go kill this beast.
Does anyone need any equipment? Because I can go fill out some requisitions if you need, like, weapons or armor or provisions or, anything like that.
Magenta
Historical
eyeliner.
texts.
I don't know what that is.
I left mine behind, and I absolutely refuse to be seen in public when I'm not wearing it.
Perhaps a stick of coal?
You know, I've never tried black. Might suit me. Very well.
Yeah.
I
And
could probably get that.
as you're discussing, Lars shows up. Marigold, you would not have met Lars before. She is a tall, very confident-looking orc. She wears a little circlet, and just given by the way she carries herself, you think that she's probably in charge around here.
Hmm.
And as she approaches, she's like, she has a smile on her face, but it seems a little grim, kind of forced. She's like, I hate to rush you away so soon, but there has been another report of the life beast. Shall, please help them gather whatever they need. You should probably get going before we lose sight of it again. It goes so fast.
The bard really wants, like, a magenta coal?
Black will
Oh.
do.
Well, we don't have magenta, but we do have black. Actually, I think we have some, in the back. Yes,
Perfect.
let me go talk to, Phalar. And, she goes and talks to Phalar, and, she comes back and she's like, is this what you're looking for? And
I
it's
lean
like
forward.
a little, stick of coal that you should be able to, put eyeliner on with.
Yes, that will work perfectly.
Well, is there anything else we can get you?
And any historical texts of the Life Beast, or
It's so new.
Marigold will step away briefly.
maybe
It
any
only showed up
information
a
of the
couple weeks
area?
ago, really. Maps. We do have maps.
Oh, fantastic!
And Phalar, she turns, speaks to Phalar. They rush off and then come back, carrying a couple of map cases, which they hand over to you. Then Phalar turns to Shell. Yes, Shell. The map cases, you know the area well. On the maps, we have the hills, we have the river, we have the forest, we have just about everything in the surrounding areas. So if you do somehow lose your way, you should be able to plot a course back. All right?
I'm used to going on patrol.
As expected. We don't expect you to need them, but if it helps the travelers feel better, we'd certainly want that to happen.
Of course.
I am all out of brandy for my barrel.
Brandy. Yes, I can get you some brandy. And Phalar goes and talks to the bartender, and then comes back with just a big bottle for you.
Cool, and we just
Fill up your brandy barrel.
put it back. Oh, good.
And then Lars speaks again. Is there anything else you need? The reports are coming in. It is close by. The time really is now, unless you have any additional questions.
How are the reports coming into you? Are people running messages to you? Are they sending communicatory birds, or perhaps flying plants?
I'm not quite familiar with flying plants. We do use bird post when we need to send things long distance, but most of the messengers in town are, people. We have various guards stationed about, much like Shell, who keep an eye on the outer walls to, keep an eye out for travelers, as well as to make sure the wilderness doesn't come into the city proper. But, yes, they send word.
Okay. So, we don't need anything special to access these messages. We just need to talk to people in the guard. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Talking is the best way. We are quite friendly in Welcome Village, as we like to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and welcome! I hate to rush you off so soon, though, but hopefully we can fix this problem and then you can come back for a celebratory dinner. If you don't get, pulled back before then.
Well, murder tends to be a pressing problem, so...
Well, I mean, nothing's died yet. Well, I think a couple squirrels.
What?
The life beast, it hasn't run any citizens or travelers down. It has hit some squirrels and some other wildlife, but it hasn't hit anybody. Yet.
Interesting.
We can't say it won't happen, given how many squirrels that have, lost their lives. But, to our knowledge, there's been no casualties of the, people sort.
But
Lola, come on up.
so
Okay.
how many attacks have there been? It moves very swiftly.
Oh, quite. It has been, let's see, it's been going on for about 2 weeks now. It's the first, when it was first seen, it was stationary. We thought it was just another abandoned strange thing. They happen, they show up. A library appears, or you have some sort of strange small book or box or other gizmo appear out of thin air, and that's the way it is. It doesn't do anything. But then there were reports that the thing had moved and it was no longer where it was. And then various travelers were being assaulted or chased, frightened. People stopped coming. I mean, we haven't had a actual visitor in so long, a traveler, because anybody who gets near to the city proper gets chased away by the beast. We don't know what it's doing or why. We don't know why it would chase away travelers. What purpose is there in that? We don't know if it's just hungry and it's trying to hunt, or if it's if it's some sort of war effort. Maybe someone's sabotaging us. We're supposed to be the most welcoming village in the Bloody Hills, but we can't be if everybody's scared away by some metal monster.
Well, that it's so very fast and that there are so many attacks speaks to it not having fatal intent. Although that doesn't mean that it's not being a jerk. It could deliberately be a butt. And that's very rude, and we can't have that.
I don't think there's literal butts running around the valley trying to hurt people.
Well, metaphorical butts.
Ah,
I mean,
So when you
yeah.
talk about maybe it's just trying to eat, or like maybe it's just hungry and trying to catch food, when he goes over and picks up the platter of meat and it's just like, we'll bring this along.
and I kind of, my face like moves with it, and then it pulls back.
Well, you look quite stunning with the black, I do think.
I'm not sure about it yet, but we'll see.
Well, at least it's only temporary, even if you don't like it.
So, what was that about bats? Is there the ass league here as well?
The Ass
Unfortunately
League?
not.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, how disappointing.
The All-Star Squatting League It is a fantastic athletic competition.
Quite delightful.
Lifters from all around Gelspad compete for the title, or at least for the best in their weight division and their professional or amateur status, so that they can prove that not only are they the strongest, but that they are the badonkest, which is, of course,
the ultimate title. Yes.
Yes.
The competition for who is the badonkest is, in fact, the talk of many, many people in our realm.
And I never thought I'd miss the gym this much, but here we are.
For anybody that doesn't know, and who wants to learn more about the All-Star Squatters League, you can find that on our usual Saturday Scarlands game, where it has become like the national sport of Gelspad. Like
All-Star Squatters League. Ass on a giant sign.
Yes, so that happened through a series of events and a couple episodes. We had a couple episodes ago, they went to the open tryouts, and it was basically half a session of them being sports spectators. So
no one tried to participate?
No, we had one participation.
Oh, well, there you go.
My strength is 8.
Candy's character Kai participated.
Great effect.
Yes, she got in. She could technically have joined the Pro League.
Although, what are you doing?
All right. Anyway, we digress.
She's like smelling your pillow with like great interest.
Maybe she likes my shampoo.
No, it's not that pillow. It's your
Oh.
your body pillow.
Oh, my hug pillow? I don't know then. I have a pillow that I hug at night, so.
Because I don't like being touched while I sleep.
He doesn't.
She sometimes gets one of my arms.
Yeah, I get an arm.
And I'll just like sit there and be like, fine. I toss and turn in my sleep though, so I'm not gonna
Anyway.
I get to cuddle my fiance when it's cold, but not during the summer.
That's the only time we each we use a shared blanket.
Yeah,
I
Is
have
when
a
it's
fleshy owl.
Sorry, this is too cute and whatever.
Anyway.
This is the wrong kind of cute. We need more giant, stupid dog cute.
As you know, now that Marigold is ready, the Phalar, starts talking again. He's like, well, we're really hoping that you can take care of the life beast. Doesn't mean you have to kill it. If you can talk to it, if you can reason with it, that's greatly preferred. We don't like violence here in Welcome Village. Violence really isn't our way. So please, if you cannot kill it, do so. If you have to kill it, we understand it has been wreaking havoc. But it's really like, if we had a list of ways we wanted you to deal with it, killing it's probably at the bottom. But really doing just about anything will probably get you home. So you're not beholden to one particular route.
Like, I pick up my big old hammer and I'm like, I'm not sure how much diplomacy I'm doing with this bad boy, but...
Well, you could also trick it, or put it in a hole, or... And
digging holes.
Lars just kind of starts like listing various things you could do. You could get it to cross the river and then it can't come back. Or you can, let's see, what else could you do?
Well, that just seems like delaying a problem.
Well, if it crosses the river and it can't swim, how's it going to get
Not
back?
my problem anymore. It's whoever's across the river.
Well, I'm sure the elves would be able to take care of it. They're much more martially minded than we are.
What?
Oh, yes. The elves in the forest.
Martially minded. Oh goodness, what has this world come to?
The rainbow elves. They patrol that way.
Rainbow?
Yes.
Trifling tribe of elves.
And as you're all kind of like getting ready to head out, you hear that rumble in the distance. The vroom, vroom.
And she'll be like, that's it! That's the sound it makes! That's the lift beast!
Oh boy.
Winnie holds the tray and she says, if we're going to try and bait it with this, we need to hurry. And like half of the treats are now gone.
And I'm like currently chewing.
Shell will be, yes, we have to go. Let's go now. And she'll like start stringing her bow as she's running.
Out comes the rapier.
As you head out the door, it doesn't take you too long to leave Welcome Words. It doesn't take you too long to leave Welcome Village. The tavern and the inn are pretty close to the entrance because it's supposed to be easy for travelers to get in and out, to stop when they need to. It's meant to, generally speaking, Welcome Village doesn't ever close the gates, but they've been closing the gates for obvious reasons. So before long, you're able to get into the hills proper, and you're able to start your journey. Let's see. Let me turn our music down a little bit. There we go. All right. Oh, I think I'm missing somebody's token. Oh, we need Bevan's.
Oh, I didn't know we were on a map.
Oh, now you are.
Okay.
Just
Am
now.
I?
Oh, pretty map.
Here we go.
I am not, so let me refresh my page, because I'm still on the Metal Scourge.
So you can arrange yourselves as you would. Shell, this is your token here. I just
Oh,
found a lady
Corinne,
orc.
you know why I haven't
Oh,
moved?
thank you.
Why?
Because I am also a diva.
Oh, you'll have to move
Okay.
yourself.
Yes.
I don't have control of my token.
Oh, let me fix that
Neither
for
do
you.
Thank you.
Me either.
You should be able to fix that.
I do, though.
Let's see.
Not sure how I feel about that.
All right. Marigold, you should have yours. Winnie,
Uh-oh.
you should have
Here,
yours.
I gotta go and turn myself off of being a DM.
Yeah, you're going to see stuff.
I see lots of stuff, so I'm gonna exit the game real quick. So.
Okay.
I'll rejoin as player.
Secrets.
There we go.
Secrets.
So-
I was wondering if that was going to happen. All right. Everybody should have control of their tokens now.
That's
As
all right,
we're-
because I've got a bad short-term memory, so I've already forgotten what we're
Thank
looking.
you. Let me just put my health.
As we're
in
walking
here.
along, I pull out my holy symbol, which is a slightly chewed upon nylabone, and I pray that my new friends will.
Alrighty, then everybody else
How
can
do I
see the
want to
map
phrase
as
this?
well.
I'm going to cast aid on
All right.
How nice.
Zasa and Marigold and Shell. Sorry, Rex.
That's okay. In fact, I'm gonna cast. No, I don't have 8. I have heroism, which is like 8, but a little different.
What's this?
So, what does aid give us?
So you will each get current hit point maximum is increased by 5 for the next 8 hours.
Oh, delightful.
Nice, thank you. I'll feel a little stronger.
9. Why am I in front? Do we have a clear tank?
Do we have a tank?
How
Frog?
old are you?
What are we doing back there?
Yes,
Maybe
arrange
look-
yourselves as you will, however you like.
I feel like Shell still wants to be a good host, so she'll be in the front, probably next to Rex. Nah, this
How much
way. There
AC
we
does
go.
a shield give? Because it has it on
2.
automatically, so I need to take that off.
Plus
I think
2.
it depends on the shield.
Just 2.
Yeah, I felt like it was 2, but
Yeah.
I
I'm
always
like
get
18 AC just with armor.
I always get confused because I get the Pathfinder in my head too, where it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
is it a shield or is it a buckler or is it a blah 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 blah. All right.
So, Shell is an Okoth Ranger, which is like one of the cool fighter variants in Legendlore.
Mhm.
So she's a bow orc. So she has got her bow strung, arrow in hand, ready to just shoot and fire. As
Oh, I've got my
necessary.
big ol' hammer out.
All right. So
Right.
is everybody where they want to be?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my next is awesome.
It basically you were able to start your travel. You get going. You're able to leave the city proper, and for a while you are just walking. You know, kind of making your way towards where the reports were, where that sound was coming from, because the sound was quite loud. The vroom vroom, it echoed in the hills more than a standard natural sound would have. It kind of reminds you of thunder in a way, but you do keep hearing it. Not all the time, but fairly frequently, enough that you're able to keep tracking that sound. And
as
okay.
they walk, Shell will just like give a whole bunch of anecdotes of people who have tangled with the lift beast and how that turned out, and just how awful and scary it is, and maybe like spitballing some tactics to take it down with probably Rex. Rex looks like he's a good fighter.
Mhm. Well, I'm a very good fighter.
Yeah, so he's probably got a really good sense for like battlefield strategy. So she'll be like,
Mhm.
what if we trapped it or drove it into an ambush, and just like ideas for how
I
to take
usually
it down.
chase people down and then hit them or bite them.
Yeah,
It
chasing
is what
would
he
be
does.
difficult because this just moves so fast.
Ooh,
We
got to put your heart
could-
into it.
We could chase it into a trap.
Mm. Mm. And he kind of sits there, scratching his ears, like, I mean, I guess. He's not really happy about the whole having to outsmart an enemy instead of out hit an enemy.
Punch an enemy.
Yeah, so I normally hit things. But if we must.
Oh, do we have a camera error? No, we don't. Okay, perfect. For a minute, it looked like we might have had 2 marigolds, and I'm like, what? But it was just very tiny.
Hooray!
I don't think the world can handle 2 marigolds.
Oh no.
I
Not at all.
had a duplicated camera on Saturday, so I just wanted to make sure it didn't happen again for some reason. OBS has been a little bit weird, so well, as you're traveling, as you're discussing tactics, it takes a little while, but you do spot the beast in the distance. As described, it seems to have a hard black shell that shines in the sun. Instead of legs and feet, it has black wheels or something with shiny spokes. It kind of looks like
covering up the teeny feet.
it kind of looks like cartwheels, but with Shell's idea that there's tiny feet under there, maybe it's some sort of protection or like a camouflage.
I think it's so that it doesn't have to work so hard all the time. It gets going with the tiny feet, and I hit the mic. That probably sounded awful. It gets running with its tiny feet, and then just glides. And then gets running and glides.
Yeah, that
I
That
really
makes
think those
sense.
are wheels.
Well, yes, they are wheels, but I mean, the wheels don't just spin on their own. That's madness.
And along with the lights and the eyes that you had spotted last time you saw this beast, it also has strange panels that seem to reflect the world around it ever so slightly. There are 2 on each side, it looks like, and then one on the front and one on the back, kind of up high.
Oh, it's terribly well done, but I wonder if it can be reasoned with.
Well, let's try the bait idea first. Maybe it's just hungry. Maybe we'll stop chasing people. And I'm going to walk forward with the platter that now has like 5 sausages on it.
I was gonna say the one that's the one piece of bacon,
Right.
and like the chewed up turkey bones.
Well, and right now it's still pretty far away from you. What you can see is that it's in the distance. It's kind of you resting in a valley. You're above it. It's seemingly idling without purpose right now, kind of puttering around in circles. It doesn't seem hostile, but I'd like you all to roll a perception check for me.
I've seen cats do this before.
This is a trick.
Right?
I am way too concerned with the fact that my hair hates this climate.
And I'm way too concerned with the fact that it is too warm for a Saint Bernard where we are.
I see nothing.
All right, I think. Oh yeah. Oh, you all don't see much, but Winnie, Bevan, I would like you to roll another perception for me.
Oh, are we listening then, or?
You can also
Or
listen.
smelling?
Yes. Yeah, that's why I wanted to roll again, just so I can see. Okay,
alright,
yeah.
a
So,
16.
Winnie and Rex, you don't really see anything, but you hear something. You hear the snap of twigs. Kind of in front of you, around you.
I'm gonna stand up more straight and alert and like start looking around.
As you start looking around, you
Get my hackles raised.
see that you're not alone. It's an ambush.
Delightful.
Let me just change our music here for a second, and then we can start
This is
seeing
what
what you see.
What I accidentally saw earlier.
Yes, this is what
Which
you
is why I
actually saw.
didn't. This is why I didn't do what I normally do out in nature and go, I'm gonna roll a perception check. I'm like, well, now that feels like cheating.
Yes. All right.
Well, stop
All right.
like rubbing your head on the microphone, you dummy. You can
Yeah,
come
she
to the
does-
top of the bed.
She does that to me all the time. So what the good boy and girl see is that there are a bunch of different cloaked figures around in this area.
Oh, good.
And it seems like they've been staking out the path, laying some sort of ambush for travelers. Perhaps they knew that there was trouble with the beast in the area and they were waiting for people to come here, or maybe they have no idea that thing is here and they always do this. Either way, what do you do now that you know they're here? They haven't noticed. They don't know that you know yet.
Do they look like humans?
I'd like you to roll an investigation check for me.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, hey.
Oh, well, yeah.
Of course.
Corinne,
Yes.
I realize Marigold also has advantage on perception checks to do with hearing.
Oh, okay, then you can roll again as well to see if you kind of picked up on these
The answer is...
people.
That's
I got a
persuasion.
19. So.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Okay, yeah, you would have gotten a 20. So yeah, Marigold, you also hear that twig snap, and your ears kind of hone in on the sound that there's people all over the place. Way more than you would have expected in the wilderness.
Put my hand out in front of Zos's chest to stop her.
And yeah, Rex, you're not able to see all of them very well because some are quite far away, but you do see this one and this one, and they look human, or at least what you think a human looks like.
Winnie, we have human observers. They're here to ensure that we destroy the lift beast.
Yes.
No, I already know that I don't think they are. So.
What's that? I can only kind of hear you. It sounded mildly insulting.
It might have been, you'll never know.
Oh. These dog ears ain't what they used to be, I suppose.
Alright. Did you hear that, though? That snap, I think we're being watched.
Yeah, there's people.
what?
There's men.
Oh, delightful. I'll swing the bagpipes around.
We have to be on our best behavior.
Michelle will
Absolutely.
also swing her bow around, and she will call out, "Yield! We don't want to hurt you."
And as you speak, one of the watchers steps out from behind a rock. They keep their distance.
Okay. Shell's got like her bow sort of like she's not aiming at anyone, but it's in her hands in such a way that she could just immediately go like "Pachew."
And the cloaked figure spreads his arms. You'll have to pay the toll to pass.
Nah.
Tail wagging when he just walks up and hands him the tray of sausages.
The cloaked figure like takes it and he's like, "This isn't exactly the usual toll. We're talking
But have you had
coin.
good sausages today?
I have not had sausages today, but the usual trade here is passage for coin."
Jeez.
do you start playing the bagpipes?
Oh yes.
All right.
I will attempt to intimidate them
Yep,
with the bagpipes.
attempt to intimidate. And anybody with sensitive hearing, I would like you to roll a save for me here. I'm not quite sure what to make you roll. I guess maybe a con save because it's just going to physically hurt
I
your
mean,
ears.
regardless of the results of the con save, I'm gonna howl.
Right.
Okay, you did totally.
So I got
fair.
a 21, so I'm not hurt, but I'm gonna
Yes.
howl. Can I add that? Do like an 8 another then? With this
Yeah.
intimidation since I'm howling?
Yeah, you can aid another for the howl.
We don't roll for 8 another, do we? It's just an action in
yeah,
5e. Let me look that up.
Since I'm using my bagpipes for the intimidation check, that's actually at a +5, so it'll be 14.
Okay.
Not great.
Okay. So
Yeah, it just gives them advantage when
Okay.
you do help. So you get advantage on that.
okay, so that means you get the 24.
Me?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, well,
I'm-
delightful.
I'm
25.
aiding.
oh yes, 25.
Why,
yes.
thank you.
Because Rex started howling at the sound. And Winnie, you were not hurt by it. But it was still very loud.
And no one can hear her whining. Like, she doesn't start howling, but she starts whining, but the bagpipes is just covering it up, so.
No.
And
I'm a bad man.
you see the cloaked man's like hands go up to his ears like, why? And
Get out of the way and get out of the road. No time for your shit.
he backs up, and you see that, you know, he's not really digging this. You definitely intimidated him. But another steps out, is like covering his ears, and is like, I don't care how loud you are. Pay the toll and we'll let you pass.
I think
Fuck
I'm
off.
gonna try to step forward, whether or not Rune stops me, and I'm gonna start growling at him.
Okay, then you
These
can
aren't normal people. Men are nice. Men give pets.
Oh,
Sorry.
Lord.
False humans. And I'm gonna intimidate too.
Okay.
I only got an 8. I rolled a 5.
Oh no.
Oh,
I think
It's
you
like
might want
those-
to take the sausages.
no. So
God.
filthy.
Does anyone want to aid another with this one?
So I can do advantage on
Yeah.
that.
I'm
Uh,
bagpiping it up
yes.
too.
Okay.
Shell,
All right.
Shell would
Well, it's
like
a 16.
say-
So
Shell would like to aid by saying, this road is under the protection of Welcome Village. You have no right to be here.
And Tim, I'll let you know his name, Tim. Tim.
and there's some who know about that.
Some
I
know
was
him
about to say.
by the name Tim. I named Tim first, and the rest are named things that rhyme with Tim. I just thought you all should know that.
Tim,
I
Tim.
appreciate that sort of effort from my GMs.
Tim, Jim, Kim, Zim, and Sim. Just so you know.
Zim and Sim. That's gotta be.
Yeah, Zim and Sim. It does get confusing if you don't,
They're
listen
Sim.
carefully. Yes, they're
Their parents were just like Ashley with an E and Ashley without an E.
So
Sorry.
So that's all right. So Tim, keeps his hands on his ears. Clearly, it's still very loud, and he's a little bit intimidated now by the second roll. And with Shell saying that this is the, in the safety of Welcome Village. This land has been abandoned to the life beast. Welcome Village has no sway here any longer.
Pity.
Shell will sort of like jiggle her bow and be like, "You sure about that?"
You should really take the sausages. They're delicious, and they're probably the best deal you're going to get.
All right, I would like you all to roll one more intimidation. Whoever,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna continue stepping forward, growling and barking.
yes, you all can roll one more intimidation.
I think we'll say this is helping Rune because Rune gets +1 more than I do.
Sure, I'll roll intimidation then.
To give you advantage again, yeah.
Do. Let's fuck a roll.
There you go.
All right.
Ooh.
Every time here. So you see, as Marigold keeps playing these
It's terrible.
awfully loud bagpipes. And, you know, as Shell, like, holds aloft her bow, and as Rex just keeps growling and stepping forward, hackles raised, you see Tim and Zim falter. And they step back. And then Kim, from the back, speaks up. This isn't worth it. There's other travelers. Let them pass. Clearly, they're on some sort of official business. Just let them go. We can keep doing this while they're gone.
I thought you were going to say clearly they're on some sort of drug. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am drugged. I'm drunk on power and high on love for real humans.
These aren't the usual travelers that we deal with. Clearly, look at them. And then Jim speaks up. Yeah, these seem like, you know, visitors. They're not from around here. Zim, Tim, we're really not. We're not up to this kind of fight. And Tim's like, fine. Pass, whatever. And they seem to clear the path.
Any of them close to the path here?
Not particularly close. It, like, Tim has stepped basically all the way back to where he was. He's all the way over here. And the ones that are closest to the path is going to be Kim, who's basically standing under a tree with her arms crossed. But she's the one who said to let you pass.
Look back to Shell real quick. They said they were not the normal sort that they deal with. This road famous for people being accosted on the way to whatever they're going to. It's a normal thing here.
Not historically, but this is the problem we're trying to solve. We want travelers to travel safely on this road and come to our home in Welcome Village. And it seems like these people are stopping them.
Let's see. Can I see anybody from here?
Yeah, when you, where you are, you would be able to see Tim over here. You might be able to see the top of Sim's hood. He's behind the rock. And you'd be able to see Kim up in the distance. She's just leaning against this tree here. These two have kind of like faded back into the brush, like they're no longer immediately visible.
Okay. So whoever's closest of these two that I can see, is it him or is it him? Sorry.
Let me check. Yeah, it's technically Sim who's behind the rock.
And can I see him?
You can see the top of his hood. You might be able to more clearly see Tim.
I'll try Tim.
Okay.
Hey, you with the terrible fashion.
Excuse me?
Exactly. So, did you know that it's inappropriate to make a dad joke if you're not a dad? It's a faux pas. Tartar Insidious laughter.
That one's bad.
It's terrible.
He needs to make a wisdom save, is that right?
That is true, in fact.
Alright.
It's DC 13. My spell save's terrible. Wait, is this before? Yeah.
Where? Oh, they're under enemies. That's why I couldn't find them.
There you go.
I was like, where did I put them? Oh, dummy. Come on now. Okay. Yes, wisdom. Alright. A 10. Fails.
Okay.
He starts laughing uncontrollably. He thinks this is the funniest joke he's ever heard. And the other bandits, they are like giving him the weirdest look, like, seriously? And you see Kim like facepalm, basically. She's like, I said we should let them leave, and you should go. Just go. Just leave these idiots alone. And it's clear when she says leave these idiots alone, she's speaking about her co-conspirators here. She is not very pleased with them right now.
Michelle will say, we can't. this road belongs to my village, not you. Now, if you're hungry, if you're in need, please come. We'll help you. We'll give you whatever you need. But we can't let you stay here shaking down travelers.
Well, what kind of work would there be for us? That's the problem in this economy.
Oh, there's a lot of work. I myself am a ranger. What are your skills?
Well, these hooligans are known for standing near roads and blocking them and having people pay them a toll. I am basically in charge of them, but this was their plan, and for once I decided to let them think they could do it.
You thought
It
about running an
sounds like
outdoor gym? Because with your skill set, if
Oh no.
you had your group positioned at intervals within this pathway, you could have travelers, or more accurately, athletes or aspiring athletes, people who wanted to exercise to get better at their cardiovascular fitness, or perhaps their carrying capability. And every 100 meters, 200 meters, I'm just putting this out there. I'm not an athlete. You'd be able to figure it out. But encouraging them to move faster, to sprint to the next station, and then once they got to the next station, then they could do squats or push-ups or squats. I don't know a lot of exercises, but I'm sure that you do, and that you'd be able to get them, your essentially gym members, to actually, that's the great thing. Your gym. Well, I mean, your gym, but
Oh my God,
the name
Zos.
rhymes.
I think at this point, Rex has gotten bored and is just going.
Is
He's
he doing the
just
growling
going.
thing that Lola
Yes,
does?
He's like growling under his breath, but like still walking away. Like,
And Kim's like, well, it's certainly an idea. We can workshop it, I guess. All right. A deal, Ranger. We will not shake down travelers on the road.
Unless they ask to be shaken down and it's part of their exercise regimen.
Unless
fetish.
they ask to be shaken down. And we will instead train them. But as I think we would need some starting capital in order to get this enterprise off the ground.
Well, for sure. You'd probably also just want to work it out with the mayor. I'd be happy to bring you into town and introduce you to everybody that you'd want to talk to make this happen. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it sounds cool.
All right. If you're truthful, then I think we have a deal. I'd just like you to roll a persuasion check for me. I just want to see if she believes you. That you can really hook her
I
up.
am not good at charisma. It's up to the dice.
I'm assuming that Zasa's...
Oh!
Yeah!
So Kim kind of walks by,
Nice.
giving Marigold and his bagpipes a wide berth,
Of course.
and comes forward and shakes your hand, Shell. Then we have a deal, I guess. Shall we head into the village and we'll meet you there later?
Yes, but I mean, what do you know about that? And she
Oh!
points to the lift beast.
We were just taking advantage. I honestly really don't have any idea. We just knew it was scaring away travelers. And, well, this is one of the
They're
few
just like,
safe
"Ah."
paths. One of the few safe paths. So if they could only go one path to avoid it, then we could make money creating a toll on that path.
Oh. Wow, you control that beast?
Oh, no! by no means. It just hasn't been driving over here. It hasn't been chasing people on this road for some reason. We're not really sure why, if it's just happenstance or something.
So you're bullies, not actual threats. Lovely.
Well, like I said...
They're people who need help, Marigold, so we're going to help them.
Oh yes, the terrible, terrible need of people bullying innocent travelers on a road, taking advantage of catastrophe around them to make sure that they make a bit of coin off of it. I feel so bad for you.
Do you know how you make a bully stop being a bully?
You put a rapier through their throat.
No! No! Who raised you? You make friends with them.
I usually bite bullies.
You
I
see
yell like from way up here.
the others
I
are...
can somehow hear you from like, I'm a dog.
You're a
mean,
dog, you can hear us.
The others are coming here to hang out with Kim, like to stand by Kim, but they give Marigold and Rex a very wide berth.
And Shell will call after Rex. I don't believe you, Rex. You're a big softie.
I'll drop Tasha City's laughter on the other idiot.
Which one?
Whoever it was on, I'll just drop it.
Oh,
It
okay,
sounded like you were
it.
saying you were going to
You were
drop it
gonna,
on
like,
another, like, use it.
Give it to him.
Trust me, if I had a fireball right now, there would be
They're all-
freaking
They're all grouped up for you.
barbecue.
So,
Oh, don't worry. It would be a perfect time for, I don't know, a thunderous smite. I just run back there. Just kidding.
the one stops laughing and he has like tears in his eyes. He can hardly breathe. He's been laughing so long. And Kim's like, well, I can't say it was our best moment, but if you have a better offer, honestly, there haven't been too many travelers this way anyway, so we'll give it a shot.
There's still the
Yeah, come with
sausages
me.
that I offered you from the beginning.
My better offer is a fight you won't win. Leave.
And they take their leave.
Well, so Shell wants to bring them to the village, where they can sort of like work out with the mayor. Zasa's idea for like a training course.
Yeah.
Like, Shell isn't quite sure what Zasa means, but it sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah. Sorry if cameras went wonky there for a minute, y'all. I accidentally minimized, but it should be fixed. So as you are talking, like as they start leaving, Kim stops by you, Shell, and is like, we'll head to the village and we'll tell them you sent us. We won't do anything until you get there, because I don't think they're just going to listen to a bunch of street toughs. But if you're serious about helping us, we will take the offer. For now.
Welcome
see
Village
what's-
prides itself on being welcoming. You are welcome in Welcome Village.
I suppose we'll see about that. And you kind of hear like the other guys that are with her grumbling as they walk away. Like it seems like they're the ones who are really interested in the shakedown. And she was just kind of wrangling the troop. But then they all take their leave and head back to the village to wait for you, Shell. You think that when you get back, you'll be able to set up some sort of meeting to at least discuss this option. You're not sure if it's going to work out. You're not certain if this is even doable for a bunch of people who, you know, decided that trying to bully people on the road was a good idea. But because you are a liaison from Welcome Village, you're going to try your damnedest.
And hopefully, now that we have separated the beast from like its controllers, now we can go trap it.
Certainly worth a shot. Let me get to the things I would read to you. So, as this encounter with the bandits ends, you see that the life beast has started to take off in a very specific direction. Maybe it saw something, or maybe it, you know, heard a little bit of the commotion over here. There was some very loud bagpiping. But you don't think it'll be able to ford that river, Shell. You know that river is too deep for something like the life piece to be able to cross. So you haven't lost your chance to catch it. And I'll move you over to the other map. just so you can see it. And I think that'll be
Exciting.
where we leave it for next week. I'll let me grab
Yeah,
yours.
and so as we're walking down the path, as Shell figures this out, she will relay it to the other people, like, "Oh, it's going to the river. I don't think it can swim. It doesn't have any flippers, and teeny feet aren't that great at swimming, so we can probably catch it there."
I have an idea. It's a dumb idea, but I have an idea.
There are no dumb ideas, just poor execution.
Oh, there's dumb ideas. I know all about it.
We put a wall in front of it.
Oh, that maybe.
Marigold's hands will flash through the air, and he casts a minor illusion in the shape of a brick wall, just chilling on the road.
Oh, that would work.
Maybe.
I bet that would work. That is not a dumb idea. That is a good idea.
It's a 5-foot cube of brick wall.
All right, so
Just
I'm
a hunch.
transferring you
I get it
over.
to stop. You will jump on it, do your fighty thing.
Oh, looks like I already had you here. Well, I'll get rid of my duplicate ones that I had here.
Convenient.
You're here twice.
This is a very cool map, Corinne. Whose are these?
This one is from a Patreon. You can see it down at the bottom. I can't see it right now because my name is in the way. This is from Dice Gamorium.
Oh,
Huh.
left.
They make
Those are-
very cool maps.
These are very, very pretty.
Yeah, this one was one of the favorite ones that I found, and they offer some for free as long as you keep them and make sure you say whose they are. So,
Neat.
yeah, this one's very cool. I love their
Yeah,
maps.
I'm very impressed by this.
Yeah, they're one of the people I go to when I need kind of like a foresty map. 'Cause they provide a lot of good ones.
I really like the lighting on this map. It's really well done.
Oh yeah, like the way the water looks and like the different shading.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is a very cool map. So definitely everybody check out Dice Grimorium. They
Amazing.
make beautiful maps. All right. So let me just turn that down a little bit. All right. So I'm just going to tell you what you see, and that'll be where we leave off for today. So Marigold, remember for next week that you are trying to put a wall in front of the life beast to stop it in its tracks before it actually gets to the river.
I just noticed that even though I'm an Oath of Ancients paladin, this gave me everything for Oath of Vengeance instead.
Oh.
So a good thing I noticed that before.
Before you had to actually fight anything. So.
And be like, I'm gonna do Vow of Enmity by mistake. Like, what?
What
Bad
you
dog.
see is definitely the life beast in the distance. It is right here. And it is currently, it's still traveling down this path here. It looks like it's trying to look for a way to ford, but it can't quite find one yet. Everybody roll a perception check for me. One last thing to see before we leave.
Is this herring based at all?
This would be only sight.
No. Ha, that one.
Okay, so it
I don't see
looks
shit.
like we still need one from Shell. Okay, there we go.
Sorry,
So
I closed my sheet out, so I had to
that's
bring
all
it back.
right. I realized I could give you a little spoiler for next week. So Winnie and Shell, as you everybody sees the life beast, but you look across the river and you see that there's a group of elves standing on the little riverbed there. They're standing just across the way, watching the life beast. They have their bows drawn, but they're not firing. And Shell, the leader, seems to be toward... Oh, excuse you.
Excuse me, that just knocked my camera. Oof, that was a
Jeez.
bad sneeze for the ages.
Shell, the leader meets your gaze and points across the river at all of you, basically saying, "Stay right there." And that's where we'll leave
Okay.
it for this week.
Awesome.
All right. So everybody, we're gonna do our usual thing. I'm gonna switch us to the no map, and we're just going to have you say who you are, what you do, where people can find you. We'll start with Bevan.
Hi, yeah, I'm Bevan. You can find me on Roll the Roll on Fridays doing our Starfinder game, and starting in mid to late July, we're doing more Onyx Path Publishing's Scarred Lands. We're going to the Blood Sea, other side of the continent from where we were, to be pirates. And then sometime in August, you get to see us do a special cooking-based 5e game, because I backed a cool Kickstarter called Dragon Stew, and we're going to play that in August.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's a very cool project.
It was the first Kickstarter I kickstarted more than just like the hardcover book. I did the $100 one so I could get a portrait that the artist is going to draw, so that's coming soon.
Ooh.
I'm excited. But yeah, and you can find me on LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter.
Can you tell Bevan's looking for a job, everybody?
I'm
Hire
very
my
good.
husband for something.
I'm very good at customer service. I'm a very good helper. I'm a helper. I like
He's
to
a
help.
very good boy. You should
I
put
am
that
a
on your
very
resume.
good boy.
He's such a good
I mean,
boy.
My boss, our former bosses, wrote me references, and a lot of them are, he's a very good boy, essentially. Like, if you're looking for a smart person with a big heart, and if you're looking for a helpful individual, and I'm like, yeah.
If you
Tell
don't
him how
mind
good of a-
shedding,
I mean, honestly, with the amount of hair I have on my head and my beard, if you don't mind shedding,
Well, good luck.
I'm working on it.
All right, next up, Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. In addition to freelance writing RPGs, I also write queer genre fiction. My Amazon author page is there, along with my Twitter and website. My most recent book on that page is the May edition of the Trinity Anthology. This is completely unrelated to Trinity RPG, which is also great. It's just, I didn't do that. I have a short story in that book entitled Be Fae Do Crimes. It's fun. If you like changelings running amok, you should read it.
You definitely should. Alrighty, next up, Rachel.
Hey, my name is Rachel. I am Stolen Fire pretty much everywhere. In addition to having a bunch of stuff for sale on Storyteller's Vault, you can also find me at the Onyx Path channel. I run a Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle every Thursday night. We start at, let me do the math, we start at 9:30 Eastern Time. Currently, everybody is in 1202 Constantinople. So if you know your history of the Fourth Crusade, things are about to get really spicy.
What a way to put it.
yeah, it's a good way to put it.
So last game, they met Micah Vikos. So, you know, it can only go uphill from there.
Very cool. All right, Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy Hochhalter playing Winnie. And let's see, you can find me on Twitter at WHPubs. I do freelance and self-publication on DM's Guild, Drive-Thru RPG, all that fun stuff. I'm also here on Twitch on Mondays with Travis Legg, the lead designer for Scarred Lands, at, let's see, it's 1 o'clock my time, 3 p.m. Eastern for Myths and Matchmakers. And then on Fridays, I host a game on WH Publications here on Twitch for the Curiosity Cache. And earlier in the day, we talked about all things Scarred Lands on the Lore You Know, so come check that out.
I have heard very cool things about the lore you know. Definitely check it out if you're interested in Scarred
We
Lands.
talk a lot. So.
All right, last but not least, Rune.
Hello, I'm Rune. I've been Marigold, the fantabulously extra Drindali Bard. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch and ArtStation as RuneSale. I am RuneSale everywhere. I make art things. Sometimes I write things. Mostly I do elf things on the internet.
You do a lot of elf things. That's very true.
I do a lot of elf things, yes.
And finally, I am Corinne. I have been your DM. Usually, I DM this game on Tuesdays for, through the end of the month. And I DM Scarred Lands, Purge of the Serpent Holds, which is at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays on this channel. But this weekend we are off. We'll be back on the 27th, where the intrepid party that, created the All-Star Squatters League continues to save Skarn in the weirdest ways. Usually through making friends with their enemies, so much so that they, have fought almost nothing so far. But they keep me on my toes, and that's important. And it's a lot of fun. So come check them out. Come check me out. You can find me on Twitter as Manic Pixie Girl with no E. Hope you have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye, Lola.
Say bye, Lola. Our good girl.
Bye, Peppo.
Oh, she heard you say Lola.
Aw.
Oh, there she goes.
Me.
I'm out.
Wash your hands.
Yes, be safe. Wash your hands.